Picture two people walking into a meeting. One rushes in, talking fast, using big gestures, fighting to take up space. The other walks in slowly, shoulders relaxed, taking a seat in comfortable silence. We are often taught that the loud, dominant personality is the confident one, but psychologists view that constant need to hold the floor differently. It is an exhausting social performance, driven by a deep need for external validation. This chart maps the biological cost. A perceived slight triggers a fight or flight response, flooding the nervous system with stress hormones and creating a sharp spike in cortisol. Simultaneously, blood flow leaves the prefrontal cortex. Mental bandwidth plummets, making higher-level reasoning nearly impossible. In the 1950s, psychologist Julian Rotter identified a key differentiator in how we process success: the internal locus of control. It is the shift from believing our life is dictated by luck or external approval to trusting that results come from our own skills and deliberate training. This internal anchor is what transforms self-assurance from a fleeting mood into a permanent skill set. Developing this presence does not require changing your personality. It is about upgrading your biological operating system to conserve energy, allowing you to project a quiet, undeniable power through 5 specific laws. The first law is to speak less than you know. In high-pressure environments, rushing to fill the silence, nervous laughter, and rapid interruptions are microsignals of insecurity. Instead of fighting for airtime, quietly confident people run their thoughts through a strict 3-part filter. Does this need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? And does it need to be said right now? If the answer is yes, they deploy the pause. Taking a single, deliberate breath before answering a complex question proves you have cognitive control over the moment, and it gives your words immediate weight. The second law is never over-explain. Offering elaborate justifications for a boundary or a personal choice is an anxiety-driven defense mechanism. It is a subtle plea for approval. They understand that no is a complete sentence. If they make a mistake, they state the facts, take direct accountability, and move straight to the solution without spinning a defensive narrative. By treating your boundaries and decisions as final, you stop leaking authority. You force the people around you to respect your baseline. The third law is to control your reactions. Panic and anxiety are highly contagious. When you react to every manufactured crisis or emotional swing in a room, you hand over your personal power. There is a psychological phenomenon called co-regulation. Because humans constantly scan each other for micro-signals of safety, one person maintaining a regulated nervous system will physically calm the people around them. You can trigger this state through simple physical steps. Lengthen your exhale to lower your heart rate. Move 20% slower than your impulses dictate. And when faced with hostility, lower your voice and ask clean, objective questions. By refusing to let external drama hijack your physiology, you project a biological baseline of safety that others can feel. In a chaotic environment, people instinctively gravitate toward the person who remains regulated, turning your composure into a steady, reliable anchor for the group. The fourth law is to keep your promises. Unshakable confidence cannot be faked with positive thinking alone. It requires evidence-based self-belief. You build that evidence by keeping small, private commitments to yourself. Showing up on time and mastering skills away from the spotlight builds a hidden foundation of genuine competence that requires no public announcement. That leads directly to the fifth law. Don't try to be liked. Relying on the crowd's approval makes you fragile. Other people's opinions are rarely objective truths. They are projections of their own expectations and insecurities. Detaching from that need for validation allows you to practice unconditional positive regard. You can show the exact same warmth and respect to a CEO as you do to a service worker because your worth isn't tied to a social hierarchy. History's most effective leaders utilized this exact internal focus. They navigated extreme pressure and complex crises without resorting to performative bravado. This creates grace under fire. It allows leaders to prioritize their mission over the noise of their critics, holding steady during intense public conflict. It also drives focused, objective excellence. By relying on thousands of hours of private training, individuals can execute at the highest possible level, even under immense global scrutiny. When you generate your own proof of competence, other people's judgments stop registering as a biological threat to your survival. When you integrate these 5 laws, a distinct physical shift occurs. You stop fighting to prove you belong in a space. You simply exist, comfortable and grounded, while the noise of the world rushes past you. This creates a phenomenon called reverse validation. When your presence is no longer a performance meant to impress, you appear objectively more authentic. This lack of desperation signals high status and competence, often leading others to seek your perspective exactly because you aren't fighting for theirs. This quiet presence establishes psychological safety for everyone else. By listening well, sharing the spotlight, and maintaining composure, you become a highly effective, trusted leader. Power does not need to be loud, and respect cannot be demanded. It can only be felt. Stop performing, embrace the silence, and let your presence speak.